Okay, why you have not joined initially? Srushti?
Ma'am, I have got link now by 9:30.
You have got at 9:30 only.
Yes, ma'am. No, I have got link of class at 9:30.
Yes, you were not involved.
Ma'am, just a minute. I will connect to Wi-Fi. I am facing network issues.
Okay, chaliye. I'll give a call to you. Now, we need to have a discussion on this topic, the material issues that went into the making of sociology. So, UPSC also has asked question on this, that how industrialization led to the development of sociology. Okay, so that you will see industrialization played a pivotal role in the development of sociology. Okay, so industrialization was one of the causes and its effects was sociology. So, industrialization led to the development of sociology, causes, and sociology is its effects. Okay, so we do need to know what had happened with respect to industrialization that forced intellectuals to develop a new discipline. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? We need to discuss
Yes,
this
ma'am.
clearly. Okay, so you will see industrialization has brought a new opportunities as well as new challenges to the new world. Okay, industrialization is the product of modernity. Is this clear? What you people have to write, that industrialization is the product of modernity. Okay, it is a product of modernity. You will see that roughly from 17th to late 18th century, we have got shift in our economical conditions. Okay, we have got shift in our economical condition. So we have shifted from feudal economy to industrial economy. We have shifted from feudal economy to industrial economy. It means that now we have got factory system. We have shifted from simple economy to advanced economy. Okay, and that has brought a major changes in overall structures of society. Okay, so you people have to write it down, that please write down this, that if your economy is changed, अगर आपका इकोनॉमी जो है वो चेंज हो गया, तो आपके समाज के जो अदर स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल सोशल, पॉलिटिकल और कल्चरल, उसमें भी इम्पैक्ट आएगा. ओके, सो सोसाइटी गॉट चेंज rapidly because of industrialization. Write down this part. Rapid changes we have witnessed during industrialization. Technological changes. We have got technological changes. We have got hyper changes that has transformed the overall social settings of European society, particularly and in general to other societies. You know that when industrialization got on its peak in the Europe also have accelerated their vision of imperialism. Okay, so Europeans were looking into the factors where they could control all the world. So for industrialization, they wanted particularly East nations to act as their raw providers. So they wanted to produce for entire world. Okay, so industrialization, rapid technological advancement that ushered in European that have led to the development of sociology, because the task of sociology is to uncover the underneath rules and regulations and the changes that is disrupting and bringing changes in the world and why it got changes. So social changes that emerge, that actually emerged because of economical changes. Okay, so that is something you need to understand. Industrialization, the factory system that actually got initiated in advanced manner in Europe only. Okay, so Europe, when they have got discovery of steam engine, they have got new technologies, they have got spinny jenny, so they are now want to ruin the traditional artisanal system, and they wanted factories because factory system is providing more production. Now they wanted more labor, they wanted raw materials, so they have started their project of colonialism. Now they are bringing West as their colonies so that they can work for them, and they would be eventually producing the goods for entire world. And they are going to refine the raw material, they are going to change into a commodity, and rest of the world would buy it from Europe only. So this industrialization has got dangerous impact or effects in society. Now the world is suffering from mass poverty. Now the children are also working. Traditional family structure got collapsed. Wife is working, children are working. Okay, elderly people are back there in their rural places, native places. Nobody is to look after them. So we had thought, Renaissance and Enlightenment philosophers had thought that once we are going to shift our society, we are going to bring changes, okay, and that would be the positive changes, but it did not happen. With industrialization, with modernity, our world has witnessed lot many social problems. So this is what you will see here. The Industrial Revolution was based upon new dynamic form of economic activity, that is capitalism. Now capitalism has created divided world into two classes, have and have not. One class is of capitalists, another class is of workers. Okay. Now this system of capitalism became the driving force behind the growth of industrial manufacturing. Capitalism involved new attitudes and institutions. Entrepreneurs engage in the sustained systematic pursuit of profit. The market act as the key instrument of productive life, and goods and services labor become commodities whose use was determined by rational calculation. Now, in this paragraph, please write down the first paragraph, the analysis. Few points you people would write that eventually help you to understand how industrialization paved the way for sociology to emerge. So with industrialization, we have got a new economical system, that is capitalism. So you people will write down that what happened. Industrial Revolution. You will write that Industrial Revolution has brought what? New economical order. Okay? So it has brought new economical order. And what is new economical order? That is capitalism. Now in this capitalism, we do have two classes, which is further explained by Karl Marx. We will later read in the form of class struggle. Okay? So here we have got the capitalism. Here we do have capitalist. And here we are having workers. Now these capitalists are owners and they are the sellers of their labor. Right? Now, as we have discussed inequalities, to see what is happening. So they both owners and workers are involved in the means of production. Okay, let's just say let's see what is the factory for. It is the factory for shirts. Now means of production may capitalist own everything. Okay, capitalist own the power of bringing raw material. He would have power or he owns infrastructure. He will decide everything. In fact, the shift timing, let's just say from earlier it was 16 hours, from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. of labor is also belongs to capitalist. So capitalists are controlling each and everything. In this means of production, workers do not have any control. They only sell their labor. Okay? Now, together these people are bringing profit. Okay? So, capitalists are making profit. He is taking 90% of profit and not even sharing 10% to the wagers. This is creating inequalities. This is a major problem. Workers are always being suppressed. They are working more and they are getting less wages, isn't it? They are getting less wages. So this system has created never-ending exploitative system. According to Karl Marx. Later on, you would see in depth what is the opinion and writing of Karl Marx on it. But you will see Industrial Revolution has created a systematic pursuit of profit. Now, capitalists are working like what? They simply want What they want, they simply want profit. They are not having intimate or very close relationship with the workers. They are very clear that you work for 7 days, this many hours, and I would provide you your salary, your wages. But what was the problem? The problem was the wages was not sufficient enough. Just a moment. The wages was not sufficient enough for having sustenance of any families. Okay, so this is creating a trap system where workers will not be able to move out of the system or could do something new for themselves. And now what is happening? See, the markets acted as the key instrument of productive life, and goods and services and labor become commodities whose use was determined by rational calculation. This is very important. You can get a question on this. Okay? Everything is turning out to be a part of mechanism where you can earn money. Okay? Even if you are fixing marriages between two people, you are earning money. Shadi.com, etc., etc. Okay? So you are selling your labor, and then what would be your use? It is determined by rational calculation. So this paragraph is so powerful for all of us to understand how industrialization led to the development of sociology. Why? Because industrialization, this this new market system was very different, and it replaced the traditional economical system. Okay, you can see that England was the central of industrial revolution. बैटल ऑफ प्लासी यहाँ पे वन हुआ इंडिया में, एंड ब्रिटिशर had you know accelerated their pace for industrialization. Okay, so England was from the beginning very systematically thought of making India colony so that they can drain their wealth and make India as a colony for providing raw materials for England. This is what they did. Okay, so in order to understand this, you need to know more of it. So this industrialization has brought changes. Okay, so you will see what happened in England. Before industrialization, agriculture and textiles were the chief occupation of the British people. Most people lived in villages. So our own Indian villages were the peasants and landlords, blacksmith, the shepherd and the brewer. Society was small, it was hierarchical, the status and so on. Like all traditional society, it was also having close interactions. This got changed. Okay. Now this is again very important. One of the most fundamental aspects of the new order was the degradation of labor. The wrenching of work from the protective context of guide, guild and village and family. इसको highlight करो. So even in the Indian Jajmani system, judgments used to take care of their kamins, their service providers. They used to even provide the land so that their family can live and can serve from generation to that judgment's family. But with the advent of industrialization, what happened? The intimacy that humanity got also drained. It also got removed. This was also explained to us by Karl Marx. Karl Marx said that what was so unique about capitalist mode of production, here humanity started disappearing slowly and gradually. Is this clear? Because It become rationalized that you are working for me 9 to 9. I don't care about your suffering. I do not care about your family. All I want you to come regularly and work. So now they are not treating humans as humans, but as a commodity. Please write down this part. Okay? Because of industrialization, we needed more urban centers where we can have more factories, okay, and people can work. So what happened? Industrialization led to the development and the pace got high for urbanization. Okay. So now the towns and the villages are turning into urban centers. Okay, so now the urban centers expanded and grew. You need to point out that there were cities earlier also, but their character prior to industrialization was different. It is not to say that before industrialization we didn't have any concept of towns or cities. We did have the concept of towns and cities, but the characteristics was not like that. Okay, there was less suffering of people in cities. There were no slum. There were no child labor. There were no, you can say there were no crimes or such things. Okay, so you will see the industrial cities gave birth to completely new kind of urban world. It was marked by the soot and grim of factories, by overcrowded slums of the new industrial working class, bad sanitation, and general squalor. It was also marked by new kinds of social interaction. This is really important for all of us. Please highlight this. Shushti, are you able to understand? Jaspreet, are you able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
See, what you people have to understand that we are now getting new economical conditions. So we did have industrialization. Industrialization brought major changes. What was that? A new economical order, that is capitalism. Okay, now in capitalism, we have got two clear classes. One is owner, other one is workers. And workers are selling their wages. They are no more creative in nature. They don't have any control over their product. Capitalists are controlling everything. Capitalists are the one who are making profit out of it. Okay, now we can see that how the market system has. Srishti, please mute yourself. How the market system is bringing new ways. So goods and services, everything is becoming commodity. Okay. Now, what it is telling, that what is happening in the capitalist mode of production, people or the capitalists are not giving any protection to the workers. That is why we have now labor laws. Earlier, in a traditional system, we did have guilds, we did have zamindars or feudal lords. They used to give certain amount of protection. To explain that, I have given explanation of Jajmani system in India. So judgments used to take care of the needs apart from other needs of workers. Now with capitalism, workers are only getting exploited by work exploiters or capitalists. Okay, and industrialization again, industrialization has brought infrastructural changes also in the world. So for having more and more industries and factories, you needed a place. So the towns or the villages, not villages, but the towns, town areas are now transferring, or it is transforming into cities. Before industrialization, prior industrialization, we did have cities, but their characteristic was very different. Now, after industrialization, the conditions of cities were very different. It was now marked with overcrowded people, overcrowded, concentration of population, migration got increased, poor sanitation, poor infrastructures. We could see slum development. So the condition become deteriorated. Okay, it is bringing new challenges. Crimes also got, you can see crimes also got increased. Okay, so industrialization eventually marked the development or pace, the increment increase, it increased urbanization. So industrialization, urbanization, it is what it is doing, it is changing the earlier traditional structure of our world. It is bringing new challenges. Okay, so very important, which I have explained. Now, with these changes, we have got new industrial working class, we have got middle class, and now the government also is, changing. We have got the democracy, right? So after French Revolution, definitely we have replaced the monarchy system. Now these capitalists are controlling the power also. Okay, they are controlling the government also. So these all were the new social, economical and political order. You could see that in order to have sufficient, to have survival, families have started working in the factories. Not only males, females and the children also. Okay, so this is very important. Now, this conditions force intellectuals to think that what now we can do. Okay, so you need to see this part. The factory and its mechanical division of labor were often seen as a deliberate attempt to destroy the peasants, the artisans, as well as the family and local community. This basically can be taken as a fact, crude fact for India. Europeans, when they entered into India, and particularly, you know, British, they came with this ideology, with this ideas and intention that they want to ruin artisans, they want to destroy Indian economical system, because before advent of Europeans to India, India was the richest economy. 25%, if I'm not wrong, was controlled by Indian Mughal and economy. So that Indian economy, okay, by Hind. So they wanted to destroy it so that they can create new economy. So the factory was perceived as an archetype of an economic regimentation hitherto known only in barracks and prisons. For some like Marx, the factory was oppressive, yet potentially liberating. Okay, here workers learn both collective functioning as well as concentrate efforts for better conditions. Now, this is so sociological. It requires analysis. Okay. Now, what Karl Marx is saying here, factory was perceived as an archetype of an economic regimentation hitherto known only in barracks and prisons. For Karl Marx, factory was oppressive. Why factory was oppressive? Because it was alienating workers. Workers do not have any rights over the products. They are not controlling it. Yet potentially liberating. Why? Because it is also giving them consciousness, collective consciousness, that they need to stop this oppression, and they are the one. They are the one community. Okay, so workers eventually, according to Karl Marx, would realize the power of their collectivities. That is why Karl Marx have argued workers of the world unite. So according to Karl Marx, people can write down here, it is little theoretical. So according to Karl Marx, what will happen? Factories would oppress people, and when they would oppress the workers will get united, because every workers will be oppressed. They will get this feeling that they are oppressed. Now they will be united, and then they will going to form a collective consciousness that the workers have been exploited, they are not getting shared profit, and eventually they are going to make revolution, and they are going to overthrow the capitalist power. That is why he said, yet potentially liberating. बिकॉज आप किसी को ऑपरेस करते रहो, तो आप अगर 5 लोगों को एक फैक्ट्रीज में ऑपरेस कर रहे हो, वो पांचों के 5 ये रियलाइज करेंगे कि हमारे साथ तो ऑपरेशन हो रहा है, हमको एक्सप्लॉइट किया गया है, फिर वो एक दूसरे के साथ यूनाइटेड फील करेंगे. इज दिस क्लियर एवरीवन? इज दिस क्लियर? I hope people are getting clarity over this. All right, Jasprit, you got clarity? Now here
Yes,
you will
ma'am.
see, here you will see another indicator of the emergence of modern societies was the new significance of clock time. As a basis of social organization, a crucial aspect of this was the way in which, in the 18th and 19th centuries, the tempo of agriculture and manufactured labor increasing came to set by the clock and calendar in a way very different from pre-modern forms. Prior to the development of industrial capitalism, work rhythms were set by factors such as the period of daylight, the breaks between tasks, and the constraints of deadline. Other social duties, factory production implied by synchronization of labor, it began punctually, had a steady pace, and took place for set hours, particular days of the week. In addition, the clock injected a new urgency to work for both employer and employee. Time is now money, it is not passed but spent. ये बहुत important है, ये लिख लेना. Now, what is happening earlier, before industrialization of factory system, we used to work with the intensity of heat. So we used to work before daylight, like from 6 till 1 or 12, we used to work, and then we used to take rest, and then from 4 or 3 p.m. we used to work on the field. Now we are not working in the field, we are working in the factories. Okay, it is possible to work there. Lecture is lagging. Okay, I'll take care of it. Is it now lagging again? Okay, so you will see here, please write down this. Now people need to work as per clock, okay? So 9 to 9, this. Earlier it was not there. So this was another changes. Okay, so you will see here, why should we study the beginning and growth of sociology in Europe? And it also, in a way, indirectly, we have got question in sociology paper 1. So you will see that most of the issues and concerns of sociology also date back to a time when European society was undergoing lot many changes. Okay, because capitalism was there. So capitalism is a product, industrialization is a product of European, and in fact from the factories only colonialism have got started, right? So many of the issues that were raised then, urbanization or factory, pertinent to all modern societies, even though there are specific features, Indian society with its colonial past, okay, it all started there, okay. So that is why we need to see sociology from European centric views, okay. So that is why it is important. So the answer is very simple. For our past, as India is closely linked to the history of British capitalism and colonialism, capitalism in the West entailed a worldwide expansion, the passages in the box, and so on. Okay? So that is why we need to see the European history. Is this clear? The growth of sociology in India, definitely, please write down. So what you have to here, write down, please understand. To understand how sociology emerged, we need to know modernity, social and economical changes that occurred in the Europe. Okay? We need to understand. Sociology का development closely related है 18th-19th century of Europe. Okay? अब इंडियन सोशियोलॉजी, ये तो वेस्टर्न सोशियोलॉजी या सोशियोलॉजी एज अ डिसिप्लिन स्टार्ट हुई, इंडियन सोशियोलॉजी को भी हमको समझना होगा विद द हिस्ट्री ऑफ यूरोप, बिकॉज यूरोप ने इंडिया को अपनी कॉलोनी बनाया था, राइट. एल के कृष्णा अय्यर, एस सी रॉय, जी एस घूरे, हु इज कंसिडर्ड एज फादर ऑफ इंडियन सोशियोलॉजी, ओके. और you will see M.N. Srinivas, A.R. Desai, these all people have read and studied Indian culture and society with respect to colonialism impact. Okay, so L.K. Krishna Iyer, S.C. Roy was hired by British government. They were accidental sociologists who studied tribes. They wanted to bring nuanced investigation on the tribal people life so that British can control them. And you can see that Asiatic Society, which was led by William Jones, also played a significant role in bringing British opinions on Indian sociology or Indian society. That is why we have to read. Okay. Further, when you will see how sociology grew in India, when you would be reading perspectives of Ghure and A.R. Desai and M.N. Srinivas or Andrew Bataille, you will see that how Britishers, particularly Britishers, have written new construction for Indian society. That was wrong. So Orientalists wanted to make an opinion or construct a knowledge that India was static in nature, it is self-sufficient, it was not changing, and they needed Britishers or they needed European modern values to grow. So this was highly criticized by Indian sociologists. Okay, we will write and discuss that later. So you will see that sociology in India had to deal with Western writings. Okay, and these Western scholars have given a different viewpoints for Indian society. Okay, some definitely Western scholars have cherished Indian heritages and culture. They did give non-biased opinion, but at the same time, they were Western sociologists who portrayed India's image in wrong manner. So they explained that India village and they portrayed Indian villages as unchanging. And M.N. Srinivas, with his work on Sanskritization, Brahmanization, dominant caste, social changes, G.S. Gure, Air Desai have reflected on it. Okay, so even to understand sociology in India, we are dependent on the history of Europe. So, in keeping with contemporary Victorian evolutionary ideas, Western writers saw Indian villages remnant of survival from what was called the infancy of society. Okay, so that's what we will see. Yet another evidence of the colonial heritage of countries like India is a distinction is made between sociology and social anthropology. A standard Western textbook definition of sociology is this. Okay, so you will see as a standard Western definition of social anthropology would be the study of simple societies, and in India the story is quite different for M. N. Srinivas. So you will see in India sociology came out of anthropology only. Okay, L. K. Krishna Iyer, S. C. Roy, these people, or G. S. Gure, M. N. Srinivas had anthropological tradition. But later on, with the work and the efforts of Gure, we turned to be a sociologist. Uh, and one thing you people have to clear it out, that there is hardly difference between, lot of similarities we have between social anthropology and sociology. They are considered as twin sisters. Okay, so anthropology talks about overall evolution, biocultural evolution of humans. Okay, so they want to understand holistic manner. So they are going to see how physically also we have become humans, and once we have become humans, how we have created culture, society, and civilization. So anthropology is unique, but sociology, when we discuss, it is discussing more about modern societies. Okay, so that is also we will discuss later on. Fine. So here you can see social anthropology in India moved gradually from a preoccupation with the study of primitive people, and then we have got sociology. Okay, so this is how we need to discuss, and we have covered this particular part. I hope you have got the clarity that how we need to consider industrialization that help in the development of sociology. We also have to understand how to know sociology, how it got emerged. Okay, how to know how sociology got emerged. We need to be well acquainted with the history of European. Okay, both to understand how sociology emerged in Europe and also in India. So this is what I wanted to explain today with these paragraphs from class 11th NCRT.